Hello there, this is your friend the Skeletangent. As you know, you can pronounce it in any way as long as it fits. Um, I'm not sure if okay, yeah. You might expect me to do, sorry about the freezing. You might expect me to do a Skyblock video, and yes, that will be my next video. But this video is a bit more about storyline. It's strange, correctly. I'm going to be adding a transcript in here in the description when I post it. So since back in 2019, around my birthday, my dad made me this little Minecraft server so I could play on with my friends. We had a lot of fun times. Slowly, the server began to grow, and eventually, I met this kid. Glitch is what we're going to be referring to him as. And he and I had seen our fair share of Dream SMP, and were ready to implement our own lore. I just back out of my gaming chair, which is actually just like a rolly chair that we found on the road in front of someone's house because they had not wanted it. So then we were like, hey, how will we have it? Because they were gonna leave it for trash, but personally it's really good. Alright, anyways. So, we did some testing lore to see if our minds were capable to be able to deal with lore and stuff, and we passed the test. And eventually, we had these things. They were called the elemental eyes. One was the eye of the end. Another was the eye of the nether, the eye of wind, and the eye of the sea, or something like some things like that. And Glitch and I quickly began testing them. Slowly, while we were testing them, we found out that the Eye of End can be broken and can disappear. The Eye of Nether can be turned into a ball of void that can instantly kill anyone who touches it without proper testing material, especially if you dip it in holy water. That will glit it to become a ball of void. But yeah, so after we did some figuring out, and soon after that, we began time traveling. He and I established lore that we were brothers, and that he was like a time traveler from a family. His dad was a mushroom human hybrid, and his mom was made out of star stuff. Yeah. But more people came on, and so more lore was required to balance it out. There was this kid who we'll refer to as Rogue. He was like a lava deity who was created before Glitch came to join us in our adventure. He came when another friend of ours, who's known as either Sparkle, Sharky, or Avocado. I haven't established that with them. We were hanging out, then we threw an enchanted diamond and then some dust into lava, which then made him, like, kind of come to life. Yeah. After he came to life, eventually Glitch came. There was more stuff that happened. Then someone named Connor came. You see, Connor, he was a being of supposed pure evil. That's the rumor that had been going around. He was created from the fires of the God Workshop, where the gods create new, like, life forms. Yeah. There was a little bit of chaos that he did truly cause, but for the most part, no one truly knows what he had been doing. There have been many claims about him, Eventually, in real life, he lost the password to his Minecraft account, so he kind of took a break from that. But in the storyline, he was banished to heck. Yeah, after he was banished to heck, there was kind of some slowness around the server. But one day, Glitch was time traveling between multiple universes and found this beacon. A universal beacon is most likely deployed when a universe is unstable or it's being destroyed. So he saved this god named Bonkers. He was a chaos god in his domain, but the minute he was chucked into this domain by the forces of power, by the most natural and chaotic forces, and of course Glitch, his chaos powers were stolen from him. And chat, trust me when I say this, the minute Bonkers came on, things were about to go different. First of all, we have to go back in time to know that before anything was ever created, there were two beings, chaos and nature. They have no physical form, but there is a slight chance that when chaos warps your world, he will look like this slug being. I won't go too deep into it because I'll just leave everything in the description, as long as my friends are okay with it. And yeah. Next, what happens is let me think. Yeah. So there's this one person. He exists, but he doesn't exist at the same. It's weird. And also, around the time that Bonkers had entered our universe, which will be known as HQK. You see, Connor had risen from heck. He had somehow found his way out. Don't tell anyone, but it's actually because he finally found the password to his Minecraft account. Anyways. So yeah. He came back. He caused supposed chaos, almost none of which I've seen, but if you ask Rogue or Bonkers, they'll say he did everything. Yeah. Eventually, after some banishes and unbanishes, he had been officially kicked from the universe and sent to heck. Anyway, also, Bonkers had a sister, but it's more complicated than that. His sister used to be a part of him as a chaos god. The good parts of his brain, the non-chaotic, the natural parts, if you will, of his mind were infused into this being known as Rose. This being, as a medium of chaos, is balanced out chaos to make sure that it was chaotic, but not too chaotic. Of course, things would not stay that way. Eventually, after the coming of Rose and Bonkers and I, it was nearing the end of the year, and he and I wanted to do a little surprise party for the whole universe. So we invited everyone to come. Sadly, only a few were able to make it, but in that time, he had planned to kill me. He did it correctly, though. He told the Great Axolotl, known as my dad, that if you don't give my powers back on the count of 3, your only biological son will die. Of course, everyone, all 3 of us, knew that I wouldn't truly die, everyone knows in this world that gods have 3 lives. They can be shattered thrice, and then they're a wandering spirit who is either hired by death itself to become one of their manifestees, or just left as a wandering spirit, left in the forest to change anyone's mind to the point of basically being a warper. Yes, as this soul was taken, I was shattered. For the first time, truly, my second life had been taken. My first life was taken a long time ago, back when we time traveled, in order to make sure that Glitch was no longer immortal. Of course, I should have kept it, but, bad decisions. Yeah. And now, the thing is, after reverting to my original form on my third life, things seemed to calm down for a bit. Until Chaos, or at least the base manifestation of Chaos, was asking his creation, Bonkers, hey, could I invade this universe? Or could I warp it and stuff? And of course, Bonkers, his natural occurrence was to say no. Or was to say yes. But he felt something in him that made him want to protect his friends. And you see, that was Chaos's first mistake. Bonkers was the very first Chaos God that was given emotions. Of course, this was a fatal mistake, which he then realized, but did not battle it out, because eventually he would have to rule it, or warp it, but he would at least wait a few more millennia, due to his creation wanting it, and, he respected that decision. Along the lines of that, a being, or a version of me, that was a manifestee of death itself, decided to phase into existence through my body. Of course, this didn't turn out so well, because there was a time where George Remeow, or the Grim Remeow, it's a weird thing, who is the future manifestee of death itself, and we both wanted to be in control of the body at the same time. We kept switching back and forth until I just broke. I hadn't lost my third life, but it felt like I was one being, a combination of past and future. I had gone into an ascension that anyone, even non-gods, even mortals, can make, based on their base form. My base was Chaos, and my form was Seer. Of course, so I became the Seer of Chaos, or the Chaos Seer. I had been the first one to achieve this form, and I was excited about it, but slowly it started chipping away at my sanity to the point where I could barely bear it. Barely bear it. So then, I proposed an idea for the creation of a new world, and to preserve sanity, to make sure that no one can ever go true again, so that no one can feel the sanital pain that I had felt. I proposed the idea of restarting the universe. In preparation of 1.19, definitely not. Yeah. And I made this little clock. This clock, it had magical energy in it, which could destabilize a universe in half of a nanosecond. No, a googolplexus of a nanosecond. I know this is not correct math, but don't judge me, please. And insert video ending music here.